I'm here with my friend Benson Shum. And Benson is actually a very talented author and illustrator as well, but he's graciously helping me out with my book, Sora Seashells. He's my Vanna White today. So I'm going to introduce you to my newest book, Sora Seashells. So if you look at the cover, you'll see my name, Helena Rhee, and you'll see two other names here at the bottom. Those are my illustrators, the illustrators Stella Lim and Ji Hyuk Kim, who both live in South Korea. And a lot of people ask me, well, how did you choose them if they live all the way in South Korea? And the answer is, I actually didn't choose them. It was my publisher. The publisher chose both of these artists because they're professionals with watercolor. Benson, have you worked in watercolors before?
Yes, yeah. So I work mainly in watercolor in my books.
Yeah, and pen, right? You use pen. So they do a lot of watercolors. So the entire book is, I think, watercolors and maybe some digital as well. Okay, we'll go to the first page. So I don't have my story memorized. So Benson is going to hold it up to me and then he'll flip it around to show you the images. Sora's grandmother, Halmoni, visited from far away every summer. The day after she arrived, they took the bus to the beach where they combed the shore for seashells together. So people ask me, what does Halmoni mean? Can anybody guess? Yes, grandma. That's the perfect answer because that's what it means. Yeah, it's the Korean word that means grandmother. They found shells with pale pink lines, others with smooth white ridges. Some were as big as Sora's hand, others as tiny as a button. Halmoni chose the prettiest shell and tucked it into her pocket. Anyone like to collect seashells at the shore? Yeah, that was one of my favorite activities as a kid because when I was growing up, my parents didn't have a lot of money. But when you go to the beach, you can build sand castles, look for seashells, buy a hot dog for $2. So it's a great activity for the weekend. On their walk to the bus stop, Halmoni placed the shell on a bench. Why did you leave the shell there? Sora asked. Can't we take it with us? It's a gift, Halmoni said, for anyone who sees its beauty. Sora glanced back at the shell. She wanted to take it home, but she followed Halmoni onto the bus. And people ask me, how did you get the idea of Halmoni leaving the shell on the bench? And the answer is, when I was a kid, a lot of times my parents would take me to a beach in Laguna. And at Laguna, some of you may know, some of the beaches, you have to take a stairwell to get down to the water. And there would always be a beautiful shell sitting on the bottom step. And I thought, why is this shell there? So I put it in my pocket, took it home. The next time I went, there was another shell there. And I realized somebody was leaving it there as a gift for other people. So I decided to leave it there from then on. When they went back to the beach the next day, the shell was gone. Halmoni, Sora said, someone took our shell. It wasn't ours. It was a gift, Halmoni said. Sora didn't agree, but she did not say anything. Instead, she decided to hide some seashells in her pockets when Halmoni wasn't watching. Ooh, Sora has a secret. By the time Halmoni left, Sora had a jar full of shells. I love the way the illustrators drew this page because when I was a kid, we lived in a one-bedroom apartment and I did not have my own room. So this is the type of room I dreamed of as a kid with a play tent, books, etc., etc. A few weeks later, Sora began kindergarten. Most of the kids were nice, but a few were not. One said, "Your name is weird." Another said, "Are you sure your name isn't Sarah?" Sora tried to ignore them, but her stomach hurt every time. And I love the way this page is illustrated too, because look at the diversity of the classroom. That's the way my classroom was as well growing up here in LA. That's one of the wonderful things about Southern California, I think. She didn't say anything to her parents, but every week the same kids teased her. When you look at her room now, look at how the illustrators used blues and shadows to create that sense of sadness. Benson, is it true that you can use colors to reflect mood?
Yeah, because like so if something's really exciting, you think about hot colors and bright colors, and so really sad, maybe more blues and more muted colors.
That's what I love about looking at the artwork because the artwork tells so much of the story. So I really appreciate artists like Benson. One day, a call came from far away with sad news about Halmoni. Okay, so this is a sad scene, but again, The illustrators chose to make the room light and bright. So that means that it's not completely sad. Even though Halmani's gone, she's not really gone. And if you look closely at the images on the wall, you'll see an image of Halmani on the wall. She's not totally gone. She's still in their memories. Sora's parents explained that Halmani was never coming back. Sora thought of all the summers ahead without her grandmother. She remembered how Halmani would say her name with a soft S and a gently rolled R. She felt sad about everything, including the mean kids at school. All the bottled up tears began flowing. I want to see Halmani, Sora cried, and I hate my name. I want to be Sarah. So when you say the word Sora in English, it sounds like the way I'm saying it, Sora. But when you say it in Korean, it sounds like this, Sora, Sora. So it's a little bit different. Sora's parents looked at her and at each other. Then the three of them went to the beach. This is one of my strongest memories of growing up in LA, driving to the beach. We spent so much time in our cars. And I remember when it was just me and my parents, the three of us, before my little brother was born, we used to do this a lot. Go to the beach, especially whenever I felt sad. They walked down to the shore. After a little while, Sora's mother picked up the most beautiful shell. It had pale pink stripes and smooth ridges, just like Halmani's favorites. Sora means seashell in Korean, her mother said. Halmani always said finding a perfect shell is like receiving a wonderful gift. That's why she suggested we name you Sora. Sora's parents held her close. You're our greatest gift, Sora. Okay. The next week, Sora brought her gel of seashells to school for show and tell. When she got up to speak, a few kids started giggling. Sora took a deep breath. In a loud, strong voice, she said, in Korean, Sora means seashell. My grandmother Halmani told my parents that I was a gift, just like a perfect shell. So they named me Sora. Look at this. I love the class here. Some kids are paying close attention, but other kids are totally not even paying attention, right? I wonder what's going to happen next. Sora gave her teacher a shell. She gave each of her friends a shell. Then Sora looked at the kids who teased her. What's going to happen next? They look so nervous. Sora gave each of them a beautiful shell. One looked at the shell and said, your name makes sense now. Another said, yeah, Sora sounds like a superhero name. Sora was so surprised she could hardly speak. Thanks, she whispered. Sora walked back to her seat. Her jar was almost empty, but she felt like she could fly with the seagulls. Her mood is lifted, right? Because she was able to finally talk to the bullies and figure out what to do about the problems she had. That evening, Sora asked her parents to drive her to the beach again. She placed the last shell from her jar, on the bench as a gift for anyone who could see its beauty. And then this is the last page. It has no words on it, but I absolutely love it because Sora is carrying out the tradition of her grandmother. She's looking for shells to leave behind as a gift. And that is the end. Thank you so much, Benson. You did a great job. Thank you. Yes. And I love writing books for kids, and I'm sure Benson does too, because I'll be honest with you, I feel like I'm still 7 years old. People ask me, well, why do you write for kids? Why not for grown-ups? It's because the inner 7-year-old is a very strong force in my life. So she tells me what to write, what to read. I read a lot of children's books, what to watch on TV. I watch a lot of children's programming like Bluey. Anyone know Bluey? I love that show. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I write kids' books. Does anybody have any questions for me before we move on to Benson's presentation? Yes, back there. Your mom? Hi, Mom. Yeah. Did you have a question? Yeah? You want to come up and ask me here so I can hear you? Yeah, you can talk into the mic.
Uh, I have a question of my mommy.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
I have my question from my mommy, and my daddy does my hair properly.
Your hair is wonderful. Your daddy did your hair? That's wonderful. I love that. Anyone else have any questions? We'll also have time for questions after Benson is done. Yeah? Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks, Benson.
That was wonderful, Helena. All right. Okay. Um, Thank you so much for coming to this wonderful event. Yes, my name is Benson Shum. I'm a picture book author and illustrator, and this is my book, Cindy and Panda. So, from looking at the cover, what do you think the book is about? What do you think? Is it about a robot? No. Friends? Oh, yes. Panda and Cindy are friends. That's right. What are they holding? What are they holding? A pie. Okay. Do you think they're going to eat that pie? Yeah. Okay. So let's see what happens. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. So I want to talk about end papers. So with picture books, usually these pages are actually blank. They're just like one color, one solid color. But I thought maybe I could tell the story before the story starts. So with Cindy and Panda, I thought, well, who is Cindy? Like, what is her personality? So in the illustrations here, we can see that Cindy is becoming very independent. She doesn't want to wear her blue shoes. She wants to wear her yellow boots. She's very determined. She goes, boots only. But she still needs help putting on her clothes. But she has a great relationship with her family and her mom. And so that's kind of how we're going to start the story. So Cindy and Panda. Cindy loved to bake, but she didn't always follow a recipe. She liked to do things her own way. Who likes to do things her own way? We all do, right? Okay, so let's see what she does. Today, she was making her favorite sweet rhubarb pie. So she flew off to the garden to pick the filling and came back with something sweeter. What does she come back with? It's a panda. Cindy, said her mother, we're not having panda pies. We're not eating, my friend, said Cindy. Panda wants to help bake. But pandas are a huge responsibility, warned Mother. I'm responsible, Cindy replied with her sweetest smile. So responsible Cindy showed her new sous chef around. So what did they do? They climbed some trees because pandas love to climb and roll around, of course, and maybe have a bit of a tea party. And then playing is a very important part of pie preparation. So after hours of rolling around, a tummy rumbled. Uh-oh, we should get started, said Cindy. Cindy made sure to show Panda the proper steps. So step 1, we measure the sugar. Does it look like Cindy's measuring the sugar in the bowl? No, I don't think so. So step 2, we pour the flour. And then step 3, what do you think step 3 is? Let's see what happens. It's freestyle. So what does that mean? You throw away the recipe book, right? You stick your hands in the pie dough, you play with it a bit more. Oh, we go back. And then, of course, pour a bit of water, maybe too much water. And then you want to eat the pie dough, right? And then have a bit of a pie dough fight. Okay, so what happens next? Cindy and Panda were very proud of their work. This is the best pie crust you've ever seen, right? So they just needed to add the final ingredient. Cindy, said her mother. Panda, said Cindy. Chomp, munch, slurp, said Panda. He ate all the rhubarb filling. Cindy soured. Panda soured too. And Cindy couldn't bear to look at Panda for hours. Well, more like 3 minutes. But it was the longest and loneliest 3 minutes ever. Then Cindy had a very good idea. Blueberries. So blueberries, what are they? They're sweet, they're tart, and at times a little bit sour, just like Cindy and Panda. Ding! I think the pie's ready. But everybody loves them just the same. Munch, chomp, slurp. Who likes to eat like this? Right? Freestyle eating, right? We don't have to be proper, but I don't think the mom's very happy over here. And that's the end. So we have a wonderful blueberry pie recipe that's very easy to follow that the kids can join in. And then I think at the very back, let's see what happens after they made the pie. So mom is pretty happy. She's fine with it. They'll clean up later. And then we see a bit about, what are they going to make later? Maybe they'll make an apple pie. And we find a bit more about who Panda is. Maybe Panda loves to eat cookies. And, maybe in the fall, they're going to make a big mess in the forest. And that's the end of Cindy and Panda. Thank you. Thank you. And I also want to share with you. So this is what we call a book jacket, right? And then sometimes if you lift the book jacket, there's something, a bit of a surprise. So let's see if there's anything behind here. Yeah, thank you. So behind the cover, we have Cindy and Panda kind of marching to the beat of their own drum. And if you ever seen My Neighbor Totoro, it's the opening sequence where you have the two characters walking, and then you have all these elements on the top and on the bottom that are kind of rotating. So I thought that's more of a tribute to the film that I loved, and my editor was a huge fan of that film as well. So yeah, thank you. And do we have any questions? Yeah. They are. They made their party like, I'm done. And then someone else can clean up the mess. But I thought next maybe we can show you how to draw a panda. Yeah. If you want to join along, we do have some clipboards, and I'm going to show you how to draw a panda. Thank you. I think we're okay. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. You guys ready? Okay, so the first thing we're gonna start off with is I'm gonna put this maybe over here. You can see is the nose. So panda's nose is a triangle. So let's start with that. So I'm gonna start closer towards the bottom of the page. So we're gonna do a triangle, maybe like a rounded triangle, and we're gonna color it in. An upside down triangle, or maybe like a little pizza. You can think of that. All right. Okay. So the next, I think this is a surprise. We don't want to see this. Okay. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the eyes. So the eyes, we're actually gonna draw a diagonal line on one side, like this. And then we're gonna do like a half circle like that for one of the eyes. It's almost like I guess like it could be like a crescent moon or yeah, just half a circle or half a heart maybe. And I'm gonna actually color that in as well. Because Panda has beautiful black eyes. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side because Panda have two eyes, right? Yeah, I think they do. So let's do one on this side. Diagonal line, and then we're gonna do a half circle as well and color that in. So the next thing is, should we give Panda a smile? Yeah, we give Panda a little smile. Okay, so we're gonna do a little U shape just down there. You can do a big smile, or you can do a small smile, or you can have his mouth like open really wide too. I'll leave that up to you. Okay, so the next thing is we're gonna have to draw the head shape. So I like to start off with the side of the head. So I'm gonna do a little line like that on one side of the eye. And then I'm gonna do another one on the other side, but this one's gonna be a little longer. Maybe like that. Okay, so now we're gonna connect those lines together from the very top, right? So we're gonna take this line here and do a nice big arc around to connect those two lines. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, the more sketchier, the prettier it is. The more lines you have, the more alive your panda is gonna look. Okay, so now we're gonna connect the bottom, right? So pandas have these really cute cheeks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push out the cheek right here, like that, right? And then we're gonna round it all the way to connect it to the other side. Like that. Ah, looking good. Okay, so what are we missing now? We have the eyes, you have the nose, the ears. Okay, let's do the ears. So the ears, we're gonna do an arc around, like another half circle on one side. And then you can color that in too. It's starting to look like a panda, that's right. And then maybe we can do one on the other side as well. Okay, so I think the panda is starting to come together, but I think we're missing one thing that is very iconic to a panda. What do you think that is? What's around a panda's eyes? Yeah. The circle is the mask, right? So we're just gonna do the same shape of the eyes, but just a little bigger. So we're gonna draw these cute little masks around panda's eyes. Thank you. That. But we're not going to color it in because then you won't be able to see his eyes. So the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna think about what does pandas like to eat. Does anyone know? Bamboo. So let's draw some bamboo sticks up here. Maybe we'll do a couple, kind of like two lines, and then draw another line in between, like a stick, or a chopstick. And I like to add little leaves. This part you don't have to follow if you don't want to. Maybe I'll draw two because I'm gonna draw a little faster. And what else? What else do bamboos like to eat? Pandas like to eat. What else? Pies. Okay, should it be a whole pie or a slice of pie? I think I heard slice of pie. Okay, let's do a slice of pie. Slice of pie. So we're gonna do like a triangle, and maybe maybe it has a lattice shape, and then this puffy crust, and then these fillings. What else? What else do you think a panda likes to eat? What else? Apple pie. Is that what you said? Apple pie? We can draw an apple. Yes, let's do an apple. An apple. What else? What do you like to eat? Bananas. Well, maybe Panda could like bananas too. So let's do maybe a couple of bananas here. Maybe we can do one more. What do you like to eat? What do you like to eat? What's that? A bowl of salad. Ooh, I like that. Panda's very healthy. So we're gonna do a bowl of salad. Yes, some salad. Okay, I like that. Okay, so now all these food is just kind of floating, right? So we're gonna make it look like Panda's thinking about these things. So we're gonna add a big thought bubble around, like a thought bubble, and we're gonna draw 3 little dots to make it look like Panda's thinking. So great job, everyone. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. You're great listeners.